Hi, my name is Mrs. McCullough, and I am so excited to have you in one of my courses this year. I hope that this video is helpful for you as you learn to navigate the course and learn about the course expectations. I know this will be a great year. Please contact me if you have any questions or concerns after watching your welcome video.
All right, here's my teacher contact information. Please be sure to have this in your notebook or somewhere that you can find pretty easily. So feel free to pause the screen and write this information down if you need it. The first thing you see is my cell phone number. This number you can text or call. You can text me between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. If you text me before 8 a.m. or after 8 p.m., I will not be able to respond until the following day. Online classroom link. This is our link that we will be using for DBAs and for online classes. So be sure to write that down somewhere that you can find it. You will be using that link a lot. And finally, my email address is listed below. Either of those email addresses will work. All right, if you are watching this video, you probably have me for one of the following courses. These are the classes that I teach. I teach middle school math, which is your 6th grade, 7th grade, and pre-algebra course. I also teach middle school PE. And finally, I teach high school HOPE, which is a health course. It's health opportunities through physical education.
All right, this is an important slide, so you may need to pause the screen to write these dates in your planner or on your pace charts or somewhere that you know that you're going to be checking on your calendar. This official start date will be August 12th this school year, and the semester 1 end date when all of your coursework is due is December 13th. So if you need to work on exams only, that can be the next week, which will be due on December 20th, but all your coursework must be done by this December 13th date. So please be sure to write that in your notes. If you start a little bit later than August 12th, that's completely fine. You do need to play a little bit of catch up to finish that first semester work by December 13th. That is because your grades do have to be submitted either to your schools, and then teachers actually get a 2-week break for winter break as well. So all of that work really needs to be done by that date. Now your semester 2 official start date will be January 6th. That's our first day back. And all of our work for semester 2 will be due on May 8th. So just be sure to write these down in your calendar so you have them so that you can plan accordingly.
Okay, so let's just spend a few minutes talking about how you access your course. To access any of your online courses through FLVS, you will need to go to this website, so be sure you have that written down in your notebook. And then you will enter your username and your password, and then just click login. If you forgot your username or your password, you can click that button as well, and they will provide you with a temporary password or username to help you create a new username or password. Once you do that, it'll take you to your student dashboard, which will have all of your courses listed. Also, be sure to check this little email icon on the top right to see any emails that you get from your teacher or to send an email to your teacher. So what are our expectations as teachers of you as the student? What are your student expectations? And one thing, the most important expectation that we have as teachers is that you complete 2 to 3 assignments a week. It may be more depending on what your pace chart is saying, but this is showing us that you're actively engaged and participating in the course. It's also important that you go through a couple of other things, that you check your FLVS email frequently. It's important because that's one of our ways that we are able to communicate as teacher and students, and so we want to make sure that you're checking that. And I'll show you where to find that email in the video. It's important that you follow your pace chart and that you redo any assignment that you're not happy with, a grade that you're not happy with. You can redo assignments up to 3 times. Other than your test. Your test, you only get 1 option or 1 chance, but your assignments leading up to your module test, you can redo 3 times. So be sure to do that. And lastly, be sure that you're completing your module DBAs in the online classroom. So that's an expectation that we will have for you as a virtual school student.
Okay, let's say you do an assignment and you struggle with that assignment. You get a grade that you're not happy with. You can always redo assignments or lesson quizzes, not the module tests, but the actual assignments or quizzes up to 3 times. So this is how you would do that. Remember, this button here is your assessments. That's your workload. That tells you which assignments that you need to do for the semester. Once you've finished an assignment, it's no longer going to show up under assessments. Now it's going to show up under gradebook. So if you kind of scroll all the way over to the right and look for main menu, it's right after that little house button, and you click on it, you can scroll down and find the button that says gradebook. And when you do that, this is where you can find all of your grades for your course. So here's my example here. As you can see here, everything that's listed NA or doesn't have a grade, those haven't been done yet. Sometimes you'll see EX next to it. If you see EX, that means it's been exempted. But let's say I want to redo this assignment 1.02 on exponent rules. If I click on that, it'll open up and I can actually reset that. On the top it'll say, if you would like to take this exam again, you can reset the exam and take it again, and you are allowed to reset it 2 more times. So I'm going to click reset the exam, and then you're going to write your reason for resetting. So I want a higher grade or whatever you want to put here. And then you're going to click confirmed, delete my submission. Now just keep in mind that when you do that and you take the assignment again, it does not take the highest grade. It takes the last grade that you do. So if you do this 2 times and you get a higher grade the first time, it will not put the first grade in, it will put the second grade in. And I can't change that. It won't show me your grade previously. So just be cautious of that. But that's what you would do to reset an assignment.
So when you're looking at your expectations and you start your virtual school class, you want to be sure that you're working and you're engaged in the course regularly. And so we want to make sure that you're aware of this idea of a grace period. When you start a virtual class, you want to make sure that it's the best fit for you, that it's a class that you're able to finish and find success in, and that virtual school really is a setting that you can do. And so we want to make sure you understand what grace period is. Grace period is 21 days, and it allows you to try the course, see if it's something that is a good fit for you. And if it's not, let us know within those 21 days, and we can withdraw you from the class with no penalty. After 21 days, it will be a withdraw passing or withdraw failing on your transcript. So just be aware that you want to use those first 21 days to really test out the course.
All right, guys, I want to give you a quick overview of what to expect in the class. When you log in, you should see a forcing slide, and that's what this is. It's basically, before it will let you into your class, it will show you something. So this one talked about winter break, but it will usually have information that's important to your course. So just be sure to read that, and then click on the bottom where it says return to course. That will bring you to your actual class. Now, once you're here, our homeroom changes, the way it looks, it changes, but I want to go over just what you see here. So the first thing you should always see is the start date and then the end date here in the scrolling announcements. That's just a quick reminder to help you see when everything's due. And if I scroll down, the first thing you should see, or somewhere on your homepage, you should see my information. So you'll see my picture and my email is right here. My phone number is here. Now remember, this number you can call or text me. You'll see information about my supervisor. You'll see help videos here. So this is just a quick reminder where to find those. Your pacing guides can be clicked and found here as well. And then if you need an appointment, a phone appointment, you can also click here to find that phone appointment calendar. Let me scroll down. You'll also see information about our DBA process. So remember, a DBA is a discussion-based assessment, and it's a time for you to share what you've learned with your teacher. So we have changed this. Before in the past, we've done online DBAs, and this semester we're actually not doing online DBAs. It's going to be a call-in DBA process.
So this walks you through the steps on that change. So notice the first step says to schedule a call-in DBA here. And when you click here, it's going to take you to my appointment calendar. So you can see that if you come down, you can pick a date, any date that you want, except for the weekends, of course, and then a time that works for you. So each day has varying times. There's early morning slots on Wednesdays. Thursdays, there's some random times. You'll see some evening slots available soon as well, depending on the days. And when you scroll down after you pick a time and a date, you'll put in your information here. You'll select your course. Make sure you include your last name, the DBA that you need, and then of course you'll want to click DBA under the purpose of this conversation. Now if you need help, this is also a way that you can schedule help. And then book, and then just click book. So that's what you'll do first with our new DBA process. So what that means, if it were me, I would look at your calendar and your pace chart and see where you are. And if it looks like that week you're going to need a DBA, I would go ahead and schedule it that week early, and then just plan to be able to do your DBA by the time that you scheduled. Step 2 says go to your course and module and complete the questions listed before the phone call. So if you look here, there's different classes here depending on your course. You'll click on the course that you're in. So for instance, if you're in 6th grade, you'll click on 6th grade. It's going to open up all of the DBA questions that you have here from the online DBA session a while ago. So if you're in module 5, you'll just scroll down until you see 5. It's going to give you all your questions. It's going to give you 5 questions. So the best way to prepare for the DBA is to actually complete all 5 of those questions and have your notes and the answers to those questions in front of you when we do our DBA on the phone. Let's go back down and see what step 3 says. Step 3 says during your phone call, you should be able to explain the steps you took to find your answers. Be prepared to answer any additional questions about the module. So I am giving you some guiding questions here. These are guided questions, but remember these are not necessarily the only questions I can ask you. So make sure you have your notes in front of you in case I ask you a question that you want to refer to your notes for. Step 4 is turn in your module DBA by writing the answers to each question in the student comments box. So if you, for instance, I'm going to go back real quick to this module 5. If you were doing this, you would just simply write those answers to the 5 questions into your student comments box and you can submit the DBA, and that will happen after we do our phone call. All right, so that is our new DBA process. If I scroll down, what you'll also notice on your screen for our math classes is you'll notice the review lessons. So you'll see some review lessons here that will be hyperlinked. So as we go through the semester, you'll start seeing the lessons provided here with some hyperlinks so that you can watch the recordings if you need to or pull up the online notes. And then lastly, you should see, and this will start filling in more, some events from me. So you'll see office hour help sessions here, and you'll also see reviews here, your module reviews. So under here, under the Talkify calendar, under the last thing you should see on your home page is different dates. Now you don't see very many right now, but you will in the next week. And if you click on it, if you want to attend, it will give you the link that you would need to go to, as well as some information about what to expect for that review or that office hour help. Okay, so that's the home page of the course. If you ever want to go back to your home page of the course, just click the home button and it'll take you right back. Remember the buttons on the top. The first one here is the online lessons. If you click on the little book, it takes you to your lessons and your assignments. So just simply go to the semester you're working on and it'll let you pull that up. To the right of that online lessons is your assessments. So if you were to click on assessments, it will pull up everything left that you have here for the semester. So you can even click just semester 1 or semester 2 or segment 1 or segment 2 if you just want those assignments to show up. And it'll also show you how many entries you have. In other words, how many assignments. So for semester 2, I have 39 assignments to complete. To the right is your home button. To the right of that is your main menu button, which will give you information about the course. And then to the right of that is your email button, which you will check that, get in the habit of checking that because that's where I will communicate with you.
All right, it's very important that we know what we see on this black bar on top of your screen. These icons will help us. So remember that very first icon there is where you will go to check your emails. Be sure to check this regularly. Again, that little menu button right here, those horizontal lines, is the menu button, and that will take you to find your grade book, your pace chart, and a lot more. Remember that the book is to the far left, and that's where you will find your online book and your online lessons and material that you'll need to help you learn the content. And then that other button is our workload, and that's where you will find all of your assignments. So it's like your to-do list.
All right, let's talk about what is a DBA. So a DBA is something that we all have to do at the end of each chapter, and it's a discussion-based assessment. It's located at the end of each module before your test, and it is required to complete in order. So before you take your test, you really want to do that discussion-based assessment with your teacher. Basically, it's just a phone call. And you'll discuss what you learned from the module with your teacher. So the best way to prepare for this is to do two things, is to look at the guided questions that are given to you on the homepage of the class, complete those questions, and then also kind of write down some things you've learned, because usually a teacher will ask you, what's something you learned from the chapter? So you want to be sure that you know something that you've learned. So just be sure to write that down.
Let's talk briefly about enrichment assignments. I know we've talked about it a little bit. If you are on the home page of your class, remember if you click on the second button, which is the assessments button, it will take you to a list of all your assignments. Now the enrichment assignments, this is why I'm bringing it up now, they're actually not listed in your assignments until you go all the way down. Let me do this actually first. Up here where it says show segment, I'm going to click segment 1 only, because I just want to see what's due this semester. So you can see once I've done that, it shows me I have 42 assignments here. I'm going to scroll down, and my enrichment assignments are usually the last assignments that I see. So if I click on that, it will actually show me what I can do. It's just a reminder. We've talked about this before. So just be sure that you take a look at those enrichment assignments and pick 2 of those that you feel comfortable doing and plan for that ahead of time so that you can do that. And then when it's time to turn it in, you would do exactly what I'm doing now. You would scroll down and you would attach a file. So you have a couple of options. You can actually type your answers or anything here in these boxes, but if you scroll all the way down, it will let you add files. So you can click add file and upload a file here. Check the submit for grading and then click submit for grading. So that's what you would do for your enrichment assignments. Again, you would find those by going to your list of assessments, your workload, and then scrolling all the way down until you see enrichment assignment.
Okay, it's important for me to point out the collaboration assignment, which is like the collaboration reflection. And that's found in your workload of your course. And that is actually going to be done differently for each class. But for this course, you want to make sure you complete this welcome video orientation worksheet. That can be found on my website, and then I will show you where to find it in the class itself.
So let me show you where to find that collaboration assignment. That's the very first assignment for your course. If you're in your courses, remember this is your home page. Go back to your list of assignments, which is your assessments, and up on the black bar on the top of your screen, it's the second bar over. So you can click on assessments. And when you do that, what you'll notice is that the very first assignment here is S1 Collaboration Reflection. Some other courses, it might be listed a little bit differently, but you're just looking for the one that says Collaboration. Simply click on it, and when you do that, and this will happen for any assignment that gives specific instructions, it might pop up with a Google slide or information about the assignment like this. So if you do see something like this, please be sure to read that, because it'll give you more specific information about that assignment. So it'll tell you each course uses collaboration assignments differently. So in this class, we're using our collaboration as our welcome assignment for the course. So on this, you'll see the welcome video, which is what you're watching now, but here's the link to it. And then on the right, you'll see a checklist of things that you really want to make sure that you do. On the very first thing on that checklist, it says to watch the video and then complete the welcome assignment. So let me go back here. If we click on assignment, it's going to open up and it's going to show you what that assignment looks like. So you have the option to print this out or to type it on a sheet of paper, but it will give you that assignment that you need to complete. The second one down says print your pace charts. So if you haven't done that already, it'll open up and it'll let you pick the pace chart you want to complete. And then it'll remind you to text me. Remember, you're texting me with your first and last name and the course you're taking. So if you're in 6th grade math, make sure you say 6th grade math. Don't just say math. Pre-algebra, whatever class you're taking. And then it also says to check out the resource page, which is our Weebly. That will hold all of our extra videos and supplements and worksheets and things that could help you. And the next one's very important. There's 2 enrichment assignments that are actually going to be on your workload for every class, and that's per semester. So if you're taking a whole year of a math class, for instance, you would have 4 enrichment assignments that you're going to complete. And if you want to take a look at those enrichment assignments now, I would, just so you can prepare for those throughout the semester. So you can click on that options button. And when you do that, what will happen is it'll pop up and it'll show you all the different options. So this screen looks a little intimidating, but it just lists out different ways that you can get credit for that enrichment assignment. So again, you have to do 2 of them and they are required. They basically supplement your learning. So you can go through, if you're a full-time St. John's Virtual School student, you have a couple more options here. You can attend our academic days, or you can work on some iExcel skills. If you're not full-time, in other words, if you're not taking all of your classes with St. John's Virtual, you have some other options. So definitely take a look at this third one where it says you can attend a module review lesson in the classroom. And you can actually find the schedule of all of our live lessons here. And they're on the home page of the class as well. But if you can't make a live lesson, you can also watch the recording. So if you do watch the recording though, look what it says. You will be required to take notes on the recording and submit your notes for credit. So that's how I know that you've watched it. You have an option of completing the FSA grade level practice test for your course. That can be done as an enrichment assignment. You can attend a semester exam review, and then if there's anything else that you think would be a cool idea, you can always reach out to me and ask for permission, and I can give you permission for that. So I went quickly through this, but just be sure to take a look at that and maybe decide which ones you would like to do for semester 1. Remember, 2 for semester 1, and then you'll do 2 more for semester 2. Let me go back here. So that was on our collaboration. So just take a look at those. And then finally, you want to make sure you download Blackboard. Now, Blackboard is a software program that we use with virtual school courses, and it is very important that you have that on your computer. Now, if you don't want it on your computer, you can actually download it on your smartphone as well. There's an app for it. It's called Blackboard Collaborate. And you want to make sure that that's on your computer because you will use Blackboard for online DBAs, for live lessons, for a lot of different things. So it's very important that you get that downloaded. So that is just kind of where you would find all of the information for your collaboration assignment. Again, just go to your workload, your assessments, click on the collaboration assignment that you see listed, and it will pop up with all of your instructions.
Now, before you start turning in assignments, I really want to talk to you about academic integrity. Academic integrity is very important for an online class. So academic integrity is essential, and that is because we are taking a class online and we're expecting you to work through the material and learn it. And part of learning is making mistakes, and that's okay. We fix our errors and we fix our mistakes, but you are expected to do every single assignment on your own. We do have a system set up that when you turn in an assignment, it lets us know if it matches another assignment on the internet. So if it does, we will question you about that and we'll find out more information. So you really want to make sure that whatever you're turning in is your work and not somebody else's work. You can always use your handwritten notes, you can always use a reference sheet, and you can always use your calculator. Unless you're in 6th grade, 6th graders are not allowed to use calculators on your state test. So I would not be using a calculator, just so that you get practice. And so that brings me to this whole idea of a semester exam. So remember, your semester exam is your final exam for the semester. It's really your chance to brag and to show us what you've learned, but you have to remember that that semester exam is proctored. So that means that exam will not be able to be taken at home. Instead, you will actually take that, if you're in St. Johns County, you'll have to take that at the office. You'll have to have that proctored. So just remember that you can use your notes on your semester exam. And I really liked this quote. It says, "The weakest ink is stronger than the strongest memory." And so if you really think about what that means that if you're writing things down, you're always going to have them there. And if you're not writing things down and you're rushing through the lessons, you may miss something or forget something. So it's always better to take your time and write really good notes so that you can use them on your semester exam. All right, so here is some information for technology issues. Write this in your notebook as well so that you have it. Again, it is on that resource website. But if you ever need to contact FLVS Help Desk, if you have any issues with technology, this is the number that you can call. So just put that in your notebook. And then when it asks you, you can select 2. All right, I know that video was long, but I am so thankful that you actually watched it and went through it. And it is a little overwhelming learning all of this without actually going into the course. So please go through the course, and if you ever need to watch this video again, rewind it and fast forward it and really watch it and make sure that you understand the procedures and how to work through your online course. That's the best way you'll find success. So here's your to-do list now that you've watched the video. The very first thing that I want you to do is I want you to visit the website with the resources and the extra videos. And I just want you to click through that website and just kind of explore and see what you can find. Take a look at those help videos. Take a look at those extra problems. Here is that website if you want to write it down. Once you've done that, the very next step that I really need you to do is I need you to text me the following text. And so you're actually going to text this. My name is, you're going to include your first and your last name. It's very important that you include your last name. If you just say Sarah, I have a lot of Sarahs that I teach, so I might not know that it's you right away in a text message. So if you say that I am Sarah McCullough, and I am taking whatever class you're taking, it's a little bit easier for me to make sure I know who it is through text message. If you want to send me a picture of you, that's awesome too, because it's nice to put a face with a name. So sometimes I do live in St. Johns County and I might see some of you guys, and so that's always fun. So you can always send me a picture of yourself as well. And that last step is to complete your very first written assignment. This assignment should be pretty easy for you, and you want to submit it under the assignment called Collaboration Assignment in your course. Remember, you can find that assignment on your resources website, so just be sure to take a look there. Alrighty guys, I'm so glad you were able to watch my welcome video. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any questions at all, please call me or text me, and I will be looking for those text messages. Thank you. I look forward to working with you.